Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review, and next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends Series Spider-Man Wave 14, I think it is. This is the Stilt-Man Build-A-Figure Marvel's Frogman, the sleeper of the wave, I think everybody is saying, but I'm not sure. I still think it's kind of a goofy looking figure that a lot of people will leave hanging on the pegs at the store. I could absolutely be wrong, and quite often I am when it comes to which figure is going to be a peg warmer. But time will tell, and we shall see. I am very excited to get this wave, so before anybody asks and leaves comments down below, I picked mine up from toysnowman.com. They are a Canadian-based seller. They had them in stock. I put in my order. They shipped out like next day, and I got it in today. So pretty quick turnaround. It was like 22 bucks for shipping, and that it ships international priority, so it doesn't take very long to get. So I am very happy to have it. Their customer service was also pretty awesome. Looking at the package, we get a Marvel logo on the front. It says Marvel's Frogman. You can see here he has a couple of accessories, an interchangeable set of hands, plus a couple things for Stilt-Man. The side of the package, we get a look at some artwork for Frogman that looks really, really good. Looking at the back of the package here, we have Frogman, Stilt-Man, the entire wave. I was going to start on the opposite with number one and work my way through like I usually do, but this time I am going to go opposite, so we're going to go Frogman, Hand Ninja, and so on and so forth. Looking at the back, we have a bio for Frogman, and it reads, Eugene Patilio suits up as Frogman in a misguided attempt to restore his family's good name. So basically, his father was a villain called Leapfrog with the suit, so Eugene is trying to be a hero, a villain, not villain, a good guy with this suit. So let's open it up and check it out. Okay, and here is the Frogman figure out of the packaging. Oh my god. You know what? This is a fun one. It's a fun one. Let's zoom in and take a closer look at the figure. But first, let's look at his accessories. All he comes with is an additional interchangeable set of hands. Out of the package, left fist, right open hand. Included in the package, left open hand, right fist. There we have the Build-A-Figure arm for Stilt-Man here. Hard to tell if this is new pieces or if this is stuff that's reused, but I am seeing a pinless arm on Stilt-Man, so that is probably new, I would say. So pinless tech is in full use with new stuff, so that is really cool. We get this blaster for Stilt-Man as well, and then we have a fist for... What is this? This is his left arm, so we have a fist for that left arm as well. So it's nice to see Build-A-Figures getting interchangeable hands. We've gotten that a couple of times now lately, right? We got that with Venompool, and I want to say there was another Build-A-Figure that had that, and I'm trying to think. There hasn't been a whole lot of Build-A-Figures lately, so I'm trying to think. I can't place it. But anyway, let's zoom in on Frogman and see what he's all about. But yeah, he's a fun one. Okay, so the up-close look at Frogman, and just like his name implies, he looks like a frog. So let's see the details of it. So the head sculpt is pretty cool, really has that frog look, but what I really like is you actually see somewhat of a face sculpt inside the mouth there. You can see sculpted nose, sculpted eyes, sculpted eyebrows, but it's not like a full like face that's in there with just an opening. It is all still just black in there, and then they just kind of sculpted out somewhat of a face in there, and then painted the eyes a silver or white color. About white color. It's a little bright, so it's hard to tell for sure for you guys, but looking at it, looks really good. We get the light lime green there for the eyes. Looking at the rest of the figure, we get these painted on little like ovals in there. This uses the base of the Doc Ock body. I think everything of it's going to be the same except for the shoes, because we get these fins, little flippers, and it's got a little spring action in there. And I did read that due to the springs, he can't actually travel in a straight line. He like probably bounces around and stuff. So ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Looking at the back, we get this backpack piece there. It does not appear to be removable because we have this strap that goes around the figure that's really hiding that diaphragm joint quite well. So that's actually pretty nifty how they did that. So I'm sure you could pop that off if you want to pop out the glue. That's not something that I'm going to be doing, but that's something that you might be interested in doing. And then with the pegs where Doc Ock's tentacles would have gone, the backpack actually ports into some of those if you kind of pull it back a little bit, you could see that it ports in there to really give it a nice tight fit on there. So that thing is not going to be coming off. If that's something that you wanted to try, I'm sure there would be a way, but sorry, I just will not be doing it. So there is the figure. Let's zoom out for his articulation. Okay, so Frogman's articulation. So the head is actually on a hinged dumbbell joint. So looking down, not so much, because the head just kind of looks straight on. So it doesn't work exactly, but I keep forgetting you can't really look at these eyes. You got to look at the eyes that's in there. And so he does look down somewhat, so that helps a little bit. Looking up, again, you can't look at these eyes, the eyes inside that mask. He is looking up for the most part. There isn't a whole lot of wiggle room for pivot in there, but you can get a full rotation, of course. There is a little bit of gap how they do it, but I think that's what allows for a little bit of movement. If they kind of would have pushed it down further, you wouldn't have really been able to move that head around at all. So that's, I think, why it looks like that. Aesthetically, it's not the best, but it's also not terrible. So you can just kind of see how it sticks out. But anyway, you can get the shoulders to go up this high. You get a full rotation. Of course, you have that upper bicep swivel there. You get a double jointed elbow, which gives you that much bend. So just about 90 degrees. Wrists both swivel and they hinge. We, like I showed you a little bit earlier, we have that diaphragm joint, so he can pivot to his left that much. He can pivot to his right that much, which is pretty good. Going back, that's going back, so not a whole lot. Coming forward, you get a little bit. That's semi-decent, right? Now you really want to get him to look like a frog, right? There is no waist swivel, but you have the diaphragm joint, which has the twist there, so you can kind of turn them whichever way you want. The legs go out that far apart, so that is actually really good. He can kick forward that high, which isn't really a whole lot, but you can kind of bring it out and around a little bit to get some higher motion going on in there. You have an upper thigh cut there. You have a double jointed knee like so, but his calf is quite large, so that's all you're going to get as far as the bend in the knee. Oh, you can actually do it a little bit more if you don't do this one. If you don't hinge that top point of articulation all the way, you can get a little bit more bend going on in there. There is the boot swivel right there at the top of the boot. Foot hinges down. There's the hinge. There you go. You just have to work the heel over the ankle there to get more hinge going down, but quite a bit. The same going up. You want to work that boot or work that foot around the boot on the shin to really get it to go up, but you can get it to go up quite a bit. And of course, ankle pivot, and there's peg holes at the bottom of the feet under those flapper fins there. So decent articulation for this guy, actually. So off camera, I'm gonna do some practices, see how much of a frog-like pose I can get him in, and then we'll see if I'm even successful at that. And I won't do it on video because that would probably take forever, and I don't think I can actually do it. So let's see. Hopefully, when you guys see here in a second, I'll do it. Well, I would say that was not a success at all. So you can't really get him into like a leapfrog type position. I mean, it's kind of close. Not really, not quite. But I guess it's halfway decent at least, kind of. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. But let's see some side-by-side comparisons. Okay, and so side by side we have Frogman next to White Rabbit and next to Spider-Man, because there was the Marvel team-up comic of Spider-Man and Frogman where they went up against the White Rabbit there. So you can see you have that comic where it shows her and then Spider-Man's head's mounted and you have Frogman's head mounted. I wish I could kind of recreate that, but I don't have anything to really piece that together. But you can use your imagination to see how it looks. But there are the three side by side. Okay, so my final thoughts for the figure. I definitely think it is a fun one, and I think it's going to be one that's kind of that interesting that people will definitely want to pick it up. As far as it being the sleeper figure of the wave, I just don't know. When you have, and you guys may disagree with this, but when you have heavy hitters like the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse figures, that movie was very popular, and yes, it's extremely late for us to be getting those figures, but I still think that they're going to be popular enough that you're going to see them sell very quick. When it comes to kids, because these are our kids' toys, we like to call them adult collectibles, and yes, they are to an extent, but they are still toys, so kids are going to see the Into the Spider-Verse figures. They're going to want to pick those up like crazy. They might see this one and think, oh my god, it's a Frogman, I want to get it. So that has that benefit. The Hand Ninja is going to have the benefit of being an army builder figure, so people are going to want to do that to really build up their Stilt-Man and make him tall. So this one, yes, it may be a sleeper hit, but I think it's still going to be a hard sell. I think the real peg warmer of this wave is going to be the Gwen Stacy figure. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but we shall see. But it's definitely a fun one, and I think, you know, when you look at obscure characters, it's always nice to get these ones that you would never get otherwise, or only going to be a one-time release and will never get again. This is one of those figures, so it's one that you should pick up if you see it, but it's definitely just a fun figure all the way around, so I'm really happy to have it included in the collection. But you guys let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on the figure. Is Frogman a figure that you wanted to begin with? Maybe when White Rabbit came out, you were probably thinking, you know, that'd be great to get. So we now have that. So there's some method to what Hasbro is doing. So if you guys saw it coming, you guys let me know down in the comments below as well. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.